Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now. You cashed in on my
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night. BMR hanging out with you at midnight, 11 Central, Saturday. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. We got a pretty cool show lined up for you. I'm pretty happy that I finally get Brandi back. Was not last week, but now she's still got some gremlins. However, a lot better than it was. And of course, I've got Monica. Krista's still on vacation. I'll have everybody together next Saturday, I do believe. But needless to say, I got to bring up Brandi right now because we got to make sure we keep that computer, the internet warm. Hello,
Hey,
Brandi.
how are you? I'm hoping so.
Well, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. So far, you look good, sound good, you're clear. You know, the delay wasn't too bad this time around.
Eh,
So we'll cross there. Yeah, well, see, that was pretty close. Maybe half second. Thanks, Keith, for that
Thank you,
awesome.
Pete.
What a great way to start the show. With that being said, I'll bring up the other fabulous young lady, Monica. What's up, Monica?
What's up, everybody?
Oh, good to see you both. Both my ladies got sporting their hats.
We are.
Well, Brandi always sports their hat. That's her kind of trademark, kind of like my bandana. Monica, I noticed you sometimes you have the hair down, sometimes the hat on. So yeah, you mix it up. Yeah,
I mix it up a lot. Like even at work, I don't dress the same from one day to the next. Some days I'm in sweatpants and a t-shirt at work, and some days I'm like decked out.
Well,
keep people on their toes.
I was about you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, so keep everybody guessing. What's Monica gonna wear tonight?
Yeah, because that's a big mystery, I'm sure.
Yeah, that keeps people up late at night, I'm sure. Just like everybody
like, what is Monica going to wear?
Yeah.
Will she have a hat or not?
Just like the many of you that wonder what color bandana I'm wearing.
There you go.
I got like 50 or 60 of them. I got almost 70 of them.
Holy
But
cow.
a lot of them are the same shade. So sometimes, even though I know it's a different color, I got like 6 shades of blue. But unless you see them in person, you can't tell they're different. So it's kind of, so. But I'm working on getting my BMR actual bandanas made with like my BMR emblem and stuff like that.
Nice. I can't
I've
wait
been
to
talking about it for years and still, like everything else. So I know Brandi's got something to talk about, but I got to tell you guys, I almost jumped off a bridge today. Today was the final day for me to get my book out. Book 2, Bigfoot Michigan Rap presents True Cryptid Encounters Book 2. It's going to be out in like 72 hours, which is the good news. thanks to everybody who bought book 1. Book 2 is going to be probably by Monday or Tuesday. You can get it on Amazon. I'll have the links when I get them from Amazon later. I think I misspoke when I told you guys. Did I say 72 pages? It might have been. It was like 72 pages, not 72 words.
Oh,
yeah,
that's even worse.
No, you guys, it was it was 2,000. It was like 2,500 words.
Oh my goodness.
The book's 45,000 words. I deleted 2,500 words. So that's why I took me from 7. Yeah, everybody listening. I was on the computer, got up this morning to start doing this, and I accidentally screwed that up and deleted it. So I had to rewrite it from 7 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon just to get it downloaded. Which didn't get downloaded till 9. Because I still was screwing things up. I was so mad today.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah, no. Did I tell you guys 72 words or pages? 72 words would have been in the ass, but this was pages.
Oh, that's even worse.
That is 10 times worse than what you had said.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, because I was thinking, did I tell them words? This kind of babyish of me to have, be bitching about that. I mean, even though that still, you guys, would suck. But make that times 10 or times 30 or 40, 2,500 words, you guys. And but lucky I did have the notes and everything else. But yeah.
Yeah, but still,
it wasn't cool. It was not cool.
I'd have been really upset. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost didn't do the second book. Or I almost was just going to start up from scratch. Because how do you replace what you put down? You can't remember that.
Not 72 pages. Not 72 pages. Maybe 70 words.
No.
So yeah, so that was tough.
I think I would have cried.
I definitely would have cried.
Oh, you guys, I didn't know what to do. I mean, I was really so depressed. I was really depressed for a minute there, and I don't really get depressed, but I was like, "Wow, man, what am I going to do?" I was staring at the computer like this. What?
I bet.
And it took me. And I begrudgingly was typing out the rest of it, of course. I'm like, blah, 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 trying, Then I got frustrated. I had to stop for a couple hours. Then I got my thoughts together and said, you know what, get it done. And 6 hours later, it was, done. Then I got a hold of Jason to do the rest of the stuff. So yeah, that was my day. And Brandi, I understand that you had something interesting happened to you on Paranormal Paul show. Or found something interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Well, what had happened was Paul was gone for the evening. He had something he had to do. Krista's on vacation, so there was nobody to do a show. Tex and I have been bouncing around everybody's show this week. We're just taking over the entire YouTube, I think. So, we're all hanging out on everybody's channel. So tonight we had Paranormal Among Us, which is Paranormal Paul's channel, and Krista is his co-host. And we had Randy Gilbert on with us tonight. We were just talking about all kinds of paranormal things and right in the beginning, some of the people who are here were watching earlier, so you got to pay attention to this, because when I said, did anybody else hear that? I think there was one person who said they heard that disembodied voice. And so we went back. It's at 9 minutes, 8 seconds. It is there. Tex says something, and then you'll hear this sound, and it sounds just like a female, and it sounds like she's going or something, or she might have been trying to say something. We're not quite sure yet, because it was just a quick overview of what we were looking at. But Randy went in, and because the way Paul records his stuff, everybody's audio is done in 3 separate parts, so he could separate whose part in where it came in at. It was not my part this time. It was not me. Didn't come from me. thank goodness, did not come from me. It came from Tex. So Tex had a female disembodied voice come through his audio.
It's not the first time, right? As you may mention, this happened to any of us.
It's just past the EVP. It was Tex's turn to get it.
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And I wonder, because it's kind of a good topic, really. I wonder, does that just happen to people that talk about these subjects more often than if you had like a sports channel where you talk politics? Or do you think that's just a glitch in the matrix, or that's just maybe nothing at all? Maybe it was just a computer screw up. What do you guys think? I know what I think. I know what Brandi thinks.
I think that it would definitely be more likely to happen to people that talk about the subject more because, like I always say, your vibes are attracting what's around you. Mm-hmm. So if you're just on the topic all the time, you're going to be more likely, I feel, to experience things like that.
I believe that also. But, I also think that if you talk about a subject that they're really interested in, say to baseball, if they're really interested in baseball and you're also talk about like the paranormal and blah, 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 I think if those two things are more likely to come in on any conversation than just when you're talking about the paranormal. They'll just like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, Rob, what's up? Let's talk about sports today. What's going on in football? What's doing this? What's doing that? They're more apt to have that conversation. I have had more luck getting evidence sitting around and just talking BS with people in a haunted location than trying to actually contact them, which is crazy to me because they just want to be involved. They want to feel like they're in a conversation with someone. They want to do what you're doing, which is, I think, is really cool.
I think that's cool too. That's a good point because I can see sitting around doing a show and talking about a baseball player, a football player, maybe one that's deceased, right? Like a Hall of Famer that, died because of football, right? Getting his brain pounded. Muhammad Ali, any of these greats. I can see maybe a spirit hanging out and paying attention to that. He doesn't necessarily have to be a paranormal show, right? I just think that the way with our vibes, like Monica was saying, the vibration put off, though, we'll attract more of it because we talk about it every day, you guys, pretty much. Even though when we're not on air, we talk about it because we talk off air a lot, anyways.
Well, sure.
How to do different shows, so it's always on the forefront of our minds. Basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if anybody wants to go back on that show, it's of course Paranormal Among Us with Paranormal Paul, and it is at 9 minutes 8 seconds. So you can go back and re-listen to that later. So
yeah, I'll be definitely checking that out after this show. The day never ends, does it? I told you guys I was going to bed after this show, and I got something else to do. But after the show ends, I can't fall asleep anyway because I'm always like, wired. So it's like, at least I'll have a good night's sleep knowing my book. I got it together, and I didn't jump off that bridge.
No, we're glad you didn't jump off the bridge.
With my luck, I'd have survived.
It just broken.
Yeah, I live too close to a really big bridge. I live too close to the Mississippi Bridge. I don't ever need to say that ever.
I've been through over a lot of the bridge. I mean, I couldn't believe driving through your state. You got like a bridge every mile, it seems. I mean, you got so many rivers run through.
Take your pick. You could jump off a bridge about that deep, or take your pick.
Then we drove over the creepy bridge on LBL.
Yes.
Which is supposed to be haunted.
Yes.
Of course. Now that was kind of creepy.
That whole place is haunted for real.
I gotta tell you guys, until you go to visit a place, you can just go what people tell you, pictures and videos don't do any place justice. When I was driving, obviously it was with Krista and her husband, and we were driving back, home from Alabama. We drove through we went through the LBL, and you guys, it was a hot day. The sun was out, not a clouded sky. And I've been in the forest before, you guys, when it's been a nice sunny day, and I've been in the forest where, there's still at least light that penetrates the forest. Now, sure, you can have shadows, but it's still visible. You don't need, you can see. Once we got out of the car, we started to walk around a couple of these like weird trails, roads that like led to nowhere. I mean, it was like a road would just start up out of nowhere, and I wanted to follow them so bad, but it was all muddy. I didn't have the proper shoes on and stuff like that. But my point is, it was just so dark in that place. It seems like the light didn't penetrate because those trees, the way they covered everything. I did have an ominous feeling when I was there. And I'm not saying that because it's the first time I was there. Maybe I was just getting myself excited. And of course, we were walking through the gravesite, right? But it was just weird. It felt pretty strange, and I was just kind of I'm glad I went. I've experienced kind of that vibe as we always talk about over there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so I get the feeling now.
That is strange. That is strange, though.
It's a strange place. Only there for 20 minutes. I said, yeah, okay, I get it.
Time to go.
I did, you know how it is too. You're kind of punch drunk driving, and you're sitting in the car. You can't wait to get out of the car again. So it's one of those things too. You're like, okay, yeah, nice drive through, but we got another 4 hours of ride here. So Brandi knows I can only do 4 hours is like my max, and this was like 12 hours or 8 hours. I don't know how far this was. 10 hours, I think. I don't know.
You can only drive 4 hours at a time.
I can't go. 4 hours is like my thing. I can go to the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. I'm happy with that.
Okay. That's such a short amount of time. I mean, well, Texas is gigantic. So
I know 4 hours to you guys is nothing.
Yeah, it's like going to the grocery store.
In 4 hours from where I live, and I think that's like a haul, right?
You can drive across some countries in Europe.
Like I have to drive 8 hours.
Yeah,
I got to drive 8 hours to get anywhere.
Yeah,
you need to drive an hour just to get somewhere it's a city in your town. You got to drive an hour away to get to internet connection.
True, very true.
I mean,
our town is growing. It's growing.
Well, they need some infrastructure. They need some more cell towers. You need that.
AT&T just needs to step up their game. That's just it. Period.
Right.
And I know we talked about this and you're sick of talking about it, but I forgot to ask you, and I probably heard this. It doesn't matter if you're direct plugged into the wall, into your internet either. And we'll get off the subject. I know it's not.
No, because I can't get internet through AT&T.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have that luxury. Dish doesn't offer it here. I can't even get Starlink.
The whole point of Starlink is to bring internet to people in remote areas. That's ridiculous.
Yep, and I can't get it. I went down and talked to them. Well, they told me that if I started, that I'd have to buy all of my equipment because it is really not in their system, but I'd have to buy all of their equipment, which was like $500 and some odd, and then pay them $150 to $170 a month for it.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll use my cell phone.
So listen, you're jacking up my night sky. You're messing up the night sky with all the satellites.
Yeah.
Why don't I have
for nothing?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, with these new satellites, I can't tell the difference between a satellite, a star, or UFO when I look up in the skies.
Well, stars don't typically, move at
or move.
Pace.
Well,
they move, but it's really slow. Like they're not clipping across.
Yeah, well, the satellites move pretty quick. I mean, I thought they were kind of hanging in one location, though. Don't they have like they don't go from one side of the moon to the other side or the Earth, do they? The satellites, don't they have a certain ground they need to cover in the space?
Well, I would imagine they have to.
I think
orbit. I don't think.
they have to orbit for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Grandizer just said Brandi lives in an area where they don't even have paved roads. You bet I live on a gravel road.
Yeah, she uses well water.
So take that.
She also has a well out back.
That's pretty cool.
You know,
And a septic tank.
yeah.
But I mean, you have your benefits. You have your benefits to living out. I mean, you have to give up things to have peace. And when I say peace, it's like not all the traffic and the sirens and the, da da da. I've got 5 people. There's 5 houses on this road. 5. One of them burnt down, so now I have 4. That's it.
They burnt down because you have running water that day.
Yeah, what'd they do for that?
They watched it burn. 2 guys came out in a fire truck. Well, it wasn't even a fire truck. They came out in a one of the personal trucks with the lights on it, and just let the lights go. And they sat in the truck and watched it burn. Made sure it didn't go out of control, or they'd had to call the county. They watched it burn. There was nothing they could do.
A volunteer fire department, since you're so rural, but usually they at least have a tank.
Nope, it was not. It was they brought it out, and by the time they got out to the house, their first responders said there's no recovery on this house.
Okay.
And it was better. It was best just to leave it burn to the ground than to put it out, because it's going to be a bigger mess, to clean that up. So no, they let it burn. They called the owners. The owners weren't at home. They said just let it burn.
Okay. I guess that's what you got insurance for.
Yeah, I mean, when it's because I was going to work when I saw it, so it had to have been like 3:00 in the morning. So that house could have been burning for 2-3 hours before I noticed it.
Yeah,
because we don't live on top of one another.
Right.
Yes, Brandi. Well, again, where you? I mean, I can understand why you live where you live. There's other reasons that none of us know about, but I do like the open areas. When I drove through Missouri, so that was pretty cool. But with that being said,
it's for the zombie apocalypse. Where I can see it coming from a mile. You know what I mean? I can just start picking you off, and it's easy.
Okay, hang on. Whoops. I had an internet problem myself. Yeah, did you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on, I don't know what the hell went on there.
You're illuminated.
But anyway, if we can get on with a little cryptid talk, I guess. It seems like over the last maybe month or for a while, everybody loves a good werewolf story, Bigfoot or Dogman and werewolf are like, I mean, you can't get away from it. People love those stories. And Bigfoot, they kind of are take it or leave it. They can take them, like them, or they could care less. A lot of times I find, right? And I know we've talked about this quite a bit. It seems like we always kind of have this debate all the time. And I like to do this with a few more people too, but I just want to hear, since you guys are here today, and I know we talked about the shape-shifting, werewolves, dogman, shapeshifters. Are they the same? Are they different? What's the differences? I mean, we could talk for 5 hours. We just don't have 5 hours today. So, a brief around the room. Well, I'll go what I think first. I think that werewolf and dogman is definitely different, right? They're 2 different things. I think one comes from folklore. And I think there's actual bipedal canine that roams the forest that I do happen to think is flesh and blood. I go back to the days of Butch Witkowski, he's passed on, who believed in a dogman as being a canine. But it does walk up. Thanks, T-Bone, for the 10 Bigfoot Mr. Rob Pirate members. Arr!
Nice.
10 new pirates, 10 new mateys. Thank you so much, T-Bone. You can become a pirate. You can join today, or you can give some things out. Thank you. It's not expected, but always appreciated. So thanks for that. And since I'm at it, I might as well thank the other publicly. And we've got Keith, $10 super chat, and Josh Castro, $5 super chat. Thank you guys. You guys rock. So again, Butch Witkowski. It's a dog can walk on two legs, hocked legs. They're back. They're not straight like a human being. They're hocked backward. They can walk about 6.5 foot tall, little more robust than your average German Shepherd, a little bit bigger head, so odd looking, especially the fact that it can walk. Believes those exist, claimed that he had seen one, and did many reports and investigations on them. When it came to the militant style Dogman, like, the robust bodybuilder, werewolf from The Howling or American Wolf in London, he wasn't really a big believer in that. But there's other people that do believe in that, but believe that also is a spiritual entity or something that is not flesh and blood, okay, or something that comes from another dimension, interdimensional being. Then you've got the people that say they were created in laboratories, right? By by governmental agencies that they were created. I believe that all three exist. That's me personally. Now, the shape-shifting role, like Monica, I know you've said this ad nauseum. You just can't see the physiology of a human being just turning into a werewolf. But I do believe in legend and folklore. I believe some of those legends to be true. They have some substance of truth in them. So that's kind of my take on those. It was just brief because I want to have both your opinions, and we can go ahead and take it from there. Whoever wants to go.
Oh, I'll go. It's okay. I can take this. My thing is I don't know the distinction between the two because, like you said, Rob, there's different variants, and I get it. But before the term Dogman was coined, it was always werewolf or wolfman to me. There was no such thing as Dogman, and this has been in my lifetime. Yeah. But werewolf and wolfman were well before my lifetime, even began. So do I think that they're different? No. But what I do think is that there are different variants of these creatures.
Okay, different variants of the creature, and I understand where you're coming from. I grew up, Lon Chaney. My dad brought me up on sports and horror flicks. Lon Chaney Jr., the Wolfman, boom. I love that movie. And then Frankenstein, and then, the vampire and Bela Lugosi. Those are the three. Right out of the gate, he showed me and my brother, And that's baseball and football later on in life when we got a little bit older. Yeah, he showed us the horror stuff first instead of whatever. But anyway, I think it should be the other way around. You wait for your boys to get a little older, if you don't scare the bejesus out of them.
Just traumatize you.
Yeah, oh my God, I'll never leave the house. There's monsters. No wonder I have nightmares, you guys. No wonder. But anyway. So, me too. I was like, they're monsters. It turns into a werewolf, right? Because it wasn't because he was a shapeshifter. It's because he was a hexed, right? The gypsies put a curse on him. Then when the full moon rose and the wolf bane blooms, you're going to turn into this monster. And really, if you watch the old black and whites, he didn't go through the great, Hollywood now today is just fabulous with their technology and everything that they do, right? But if you actually looked at the actual 1958 or whenever that was made, all it was the guy just grew a bunch of hair in his face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his arms didn't protrude. He wasn't quadrupedal. Like a lot of the werewolves, they run on all fours now. Even if you saw that one sissy movie with the lover love story one, the vampire.
Oh, Twilight.
Yeah, those are actually they weren't werewolves. They're just oversized, cool looking wolves, if you ask me.
They were werewolves because they used to be people and they transformed, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's
another topic too. A person becomes a werewolf permanently. I can buy that more so than.
Yeah.
I mean, I would believe that before I believe you're shifting back and forth.
Yeah. Just too much play on the joints. They're bound to give.
If your system couldn't take it, just couldn't. And you're right, your joints, especially, could you imagine being 65-year-old werewolf having to shift every full moon? You've already got arthritis. You're balding as a person. Imagine what that werewolf would look like.
Oh my God. It wouldn't be scary at all. It'd be some old man werewolf.
Right. It's got a bald spot on top.
It's it walks with a limp.
Right.
It's slower as a werewolf than actual as grandpa.
Right.
Oh wow.
He runs 10 feet after a deer and is like, yeah. Just goes and lays down under a tree.
Yeah, and he's so old that once he starts going through the transformation, you're staring here looking at this bored. When is this process going to take place, Gramps? Watch the old guy shapeshift. 2 hours later, he finally becomes a full dog, whatever. We could do a parody on that. That'd be kind of funny.
Have Cho do it.
Well, yeah, and then it'd be time to take a nap because you'd already, exhausted yourself.
Yeah. Like, rawr, like the werewolf in Hotel Transylvania. He's like a dad werewolf.
Yeah.
Like a dad bod werewolf.
Well,
he starts growling at you and just falls asleep mid-growl.
In the middle of a story.
Yeah. He goes to howl, it's a crackling.
Starts coughing.
A big phlegm ball, come on. Enough. Somebody's gonna come out with something. You watch our idea, come out, down the road by somebody will do that, I bet. But so yeah, though. So I think. What about the paranormal aspect, you guys? Because I guess I got a story I can read it toward the end of the show when we close it out. I just decided I might as well do that. But what do you think about on the paranormal side? Now, again, if you refer to if you remember some of the stories that I presented from people, like a lot that are in the books, some of them are presented though in this spiritual manner. A lot of them we talked about, remember the Dogman, it was cemeteries. You always seem to be at cemeteries, but not in flesh and blood. You can almost see through them. When I did that story on Dogman Island about the 3 werewolves that just appeared out of the mist, right? Mm-hmm. And telepathically communicated to this couple, get off, never come back, right?
Done.
Materialized. And then I've seen the ones where I've gotten the stories where the physical creature was running bipedally by the side of its car, looking in the car, grinning at him. Mm-hmm. So you've gotten both sides of it. So, because Brandi mentioned about the different variants. I know there's a variant chart. It's got 8 variants and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be updated. I think that's kind of old hat. But Brandi, I agree with there are different variants and types. I do believe that.
Sure.
And some are misidentified too, maybe for Gugway, maybe. Or maybe a Bigfoot. I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm just confused with it when I get so many different mixed stories on spiritual, ghostly, and then the flesh and blood. I think the werewolf thing, again, I think we've kind of joked about that a little bit. Although I do not joke when it comes to folklore. I really believe in folklore, and I respect all folklorists, all of them. I got many that come on the show. So what do you think? Spiritual? Paranormal?
Well, it's possible. I mean, I think, like you were saying, I think you and I think the same, that each one of those types is possible. Like the physical, right? And then you get the spiritual one that's perhaps bouncing in and out of, because I mean, again, I do think that we've got layered dimensions, and things have the ability to pop in and out of them, and it could be something like that. The only one I don't agree with is the physical transformation, like, and I'm not talking, like, because clinical lycanthropy is a legit thing, right? And people, honest to God, think that they are turning into a werewolf, but they do display physical traits, not that they're growing, a snout and teeth and sprouting hair, but they do tend to act a little more animalistic. They get wild-eyed. I mean, that's one of the symptoms of clinical lycanthropy. And so, I mean, one could argue that that's, the physical transformation. I think that's the extent of any type of reasonable thought of physical transformation. Nobody's gonna.
I think I have to say this though. I think I myself go a little feral, when I don't get enough sleep or don't get my coffee.
Right. Yeah, I'm a snarling beast too if I don't have my coffee in the morning.
Oh, let's not get into today's morning, right? I was a snarling beast. Yeah.
I think that you were.
We covered that already. We're okay. It's all done. But yeah. But yeah. Go ahead, Brandi. I'm sorry.
No, I interrupted Monica.
Oh well, I interrupted you. So the snarling beasts. You're both snarling beasts without your coffee.
Right. We can become a little feral, animalistic.
Feral.
Yeah. Feral. I like that.
Feral.
Feral. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says feral.
Hi, I'm feral.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm feral with bouts of sanity and calm.
How many people would look at you like, what? Some people wouldn't even get it, probably. Interesting t-shirt you're sporting there. Let's see here.
I almost bought one today that said "Make Orwell fiction again."
Yes.
1984.
I agree.
Yeah.
Orwell fiction?
Yeah. The author.
Norson? Yes, I know. Yes, I'm sorry.
You know who I'm talking. I know you know.
I know. Yeah, I know. When you were talking about dimensions, though, I was just thinking of something, and I brought this up to a guy that I kind of respect a little bit, their opinion anyway. You know how you get these pictures about, in the forest where people just do random pictures, and then they circle the image. Now, again, we make fun of people that do that, but I know some people do it for a real reason, just because there is something there, and just like me, you guys, it's hard for me to find stuff. Maybe because I look too hard, but if I can circle something, I can find it a little easier. That's just me. But anyways, again, though, I'm kind of thorough when I look at stuff. So how when we come across these pictures where you might see 6 or 7 captures of a variety of weird, strange heads, maybe it could be a Dogman, maybe it could be a Bigfoot, maybe it's something else, right? But you see these pictures and they're almost like popping through. So I was talking to a guy because we started talking about the portals and all these dimensions, or the thinning of the veil. Do you guys think that maybe that's creatures on the other side just popping through, but they're not coming fully through, and they're just kind of stopping in animation in a state of it's put on pause, and they just get caught in that moment, and then they kind of go back into the other realm that they're in, or other dimension, without coming through fully? Yeah.
Well, since I don't know how interdimensional travel works, I would have to say, sure, why not? But I would think you're either in or out, right? I don't think that you would semi-materialize. That's like, Scotty halfway beaming you up, in my opinion. Like, But it's possible.
Right. I would think that's more than like opening a door.
Yeah.
I think maybe it could be like opening the door and I walking through the door.
Well, I mean, I don't think that it would pause. I think that it was like a beginning of a materialization and then a backtrack of it, as opposed to it coming in and then just sticking like a glitch in the matrix and then coming back, like something a little more fluid.
What was that show? What was that show, Monica? Was it Stargate 1? Where they had that portal where they would just kind of like go through it. There was no stopping in the middle of it. It's just like you were on one side or you were on the other.
Yeah, Stargate, the movie and the TV show. Yeah, you just walk through the water essentially. But you see that represented in any movie, right? Anything where somebody's crossing a barrier, right? A portal barrier. There's no halfway doing it. You either fully commit and go all the way through. I mean, you see people sticking like maybe their face in or their arm in, just to test it out. And I could see maybe something like that happening, but not like a semi, like you're standing on the threshold, like half of you's in, half of you's out. But the part that was in, I would imagine, is like in. It's there.
I think that is, well, I know, well, I don't know this as fact. I talked to a person who was on the show. This is like last year, who actually almost walked through a portal and was out in the woods and literally put his foot forward, and it kind of went through like going through a mirror. And he didn't see like half of his leg and go, whoa, and he pulled it back.
Yeah.
I
can see that. I mean, like testing, like somebody's like, what's, it always,
I want to dip my head through and look around.
I think it's so hilarious though, when people like in the movies are like sticking a finger in or, sticking a leg in. What's like, if you were on the other side of that looking at it, you see like a finger come out of nowhere.
Oh,
like foot come out of nowhere.
I mean, I can see myself sticking my head through and looking around and saying, hey, hi guys, and popping my head out,
And I always think it's brave of people that do that, because I'm like, that would be the last part of my body I would stick into something I didn't know where it was coming.
I always told people that, and we would never have this with us, give me a leather belt, heavy duty belt, and I want a chain, and I want about, give me 1,000 feet of link, and then we just tie it around a tree and I'll go through. As long as you guys pull me out. Give me about a half hour. So would you guys walk through a portal?
No.
Monica, you would not walk through a portal.
I would not walk through a portal.
Even if I had you secured with a lasso.
You know why? Because I don't know what's on the other side of that portal. Number one, ain't doing it. Number two, I don't know that even with the tether, you could pull me back in. What if there's something that prevents you from coming back through on the other side?
Yeah. Brandi, you going through or are you staying home?
Okay, well, let me bring this up though, because I've been watching some stuff done on the Meadow, and how they're saying that these portals are out there. Yeah. But what is not being said a lot of is that a lot of the researchers out there are getting cancer.
Yeah. Actually, I'm having Trey Hudson.
And I'm not sure if I want to put my body. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd want to put my body through that, not knowing what the consequences would be if I went through and came back out.
Exactly.
You're right too about the you have to remind me of that. I'm gonna write that down, because I have Trey Hudson from the Meadow Project on next Tuesday night. Me and Krista. I gotta remember to ask.
They they released a video.
Okay. I'll have to look it up.
Good one. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Thanks for that. As you're freezing up just a little bit, but that's okay. She's back. Looks like it.
She's here. Jazz hands.
Maybe not all up here. Maybe not all up here, but I'm here. See, what happens is that everybody gets on their internet at nighttime and they play their games, or they're streaming or watching streams, and then I'm like, look, I'm trying to do a stream here. Y'all can't take up all the internet. I'm sorry.
But I was even thinking that I was thinking that same thing today, Brandi. I said, Brandi should be good at night because who goes on the computer at midnight? Well, the 75 people in the chat room, there's another 309 watching live. I mean, so yeah, all of us are here. Well, since you're here, I tell you,
I think a lot of people are taking to watching YouTube. People are taking to watching YouTube and things online versus watching regular TV because we all know shows are just poo-poo.
Yeah,
I don't even watch TV anymore.
I don't watch TV either, you guys. I usually watch YouTube. I don't even I tell you what. If it wasn't for the documentaries, which on Netflix, I wouldn't even have that. I don't even watch movies on Netflix. I don't watch. And I like watching movies, but I find myself watching documentaries or these stupid ass B movies on YouTube. About the apocalypse, space wars.
Come on,
dumb actors. I like dumb actors because they have to earn a living too. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I like those movies. I don't know why. I don't know.
I still love watching them on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, I watch them on Sci-Fi. They have a YouTube channel called Sci-Fi on YouTube. I highly recommend it. Not all the movies are cheesy. You'll find a lot of good ones in there. That's what I go to now. And they're not like 2 hours long. They're like an hour and 32 minutes.
Yeah.
So you get through them.
Because they're made for TV. They're made for commercial breaks.
Yep, that's right. But on YouTube, no commercials, which really, boom, it's a breeze.
There you go.
Easy breezy, like I saw Joe Breeze in there somewhere.
Yeah, Joe's floating around.
Well, since I tell you what, since I almost didn't get my book done today, I'm going to read a story from the book. And we can talk about it, and then we can call it a night. How's that sound, ladies?
Sounds good.
I just hope I don't delete anything here. Yeah.
Please don't do that again. Yeah.
I'd be extremely pissed off.
We can see you melt down live if you do.
Yeah, the live meltdown would be my biggest show.
You would have to buy a book just to figure out what
Yes, Randy. I can't see you guys. That's okay.
We're still here. We can see you.
You can see me. Hi, everybody. Okay. I'm probably all lit up. This is all white here. What am I going to do? I'm trying to just find something. Something that's totally not too long. No, I did that one. I told that story. Let's see here. I know what I want to do. All right, this is kind of creepy. This I should probably save for Halloween, but hell with it. This is Dogman and Shadow People at the Cemetery. I don't think I've ever told this one, and I'm not telling this one. I'm just going to read it straight from the horse's mouth there.
Straight from the book.
Yeah, straight from the book. Thank you. I can't think. Been a long day, but anyways, Dogman and Shadow People at the Cemetery. It was a cool evening. This is from, I don't know, they might give me their name later, so I'm just reading it as it goes. It was a cool evening when my friends and I decided to venture out to the old cemetery on the edge of town. We were in our early 20s, brimming with curiosity and a thirst for the unknown. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the weathered gravestones, an air of anticipation settled over us. We found a secluded spot near the back of the cemetery and made ourselves comfortable, our eyes scanning the darkness for any signs of the supernatural. The eerie silence was broken only by the occasional hoot of an owl or the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Suddenly, movement in the distance caught our attention. We held our breath, straining to make out the shape in the gloom. To our astonishment, a shadowy figure seemed to glide effortlessly between the tombstones, its form indistinct and shifting. We exchanged anxious glances, our hearts pounding as we tried to make sense of what we were seeing. Just as we were about to dismiss it as a trick of the light, a second shadow materialized, this one larger and more menacing. It moved with a fluid, almost predatory grace. Its outline vaguely canine, yet distinctly inhuman. A chill ran down my spine as I realized we might be in the presence of something truly otherworldly. We watched transfixed as the two figures seemed to interact, their movements almost choreographed. The smaller shadow would dart and weave, while the longer one would lunge and growl. A primal dance sent shivers down both our spines. As we sat in awestruck silence, trying to make sense of what had witnessed, a sense of profound unease settled over us. We knew deep down that we encountered something far beyond our understanding, something that existed in a realm just beyond our own. That night, as we made our way home, the images of the shadow people and the strange dog like creature haunted our thoughts. We knew that we had glimpsed something extraordinary, something that challenged our very nature of reality. From that moment on, we forever were changed, our perception of the world forever altered by this unsettling encounter. Several now here it goes pretty interesting. Now that was pretty cool, but here this is really where I like this part here. Several years passed, and my friends and I started our careers in our field of choice. It was probably close to 4 years since our incident at the graveyard. We had all kept on social media and occasionally would follow up with each other. But with life moving fast, it was just a challenge for us all to get together at one time and talk about our new lives and careers. We all ended up moving to different states, which made any gathering that much more difficult. Then the strangest and most peculiar thing happened. I had started having nightmares about the incident at the cemetery. I had these dreams for several days in a row. Then, out of chance or perhaps coincidence, I ran into my friend, Sandy, who was with us at the cemetery. I ran into her at a restaurant in my town, and Sandy had been there in an out of state business. We spent a couple of hours talking. Sure, it had been several years since I saw Sandy, but it seemed during our conversation that she had something on her mind. I too frankly wanted to tell her about my nightmares. Just when I was going to divulge my dreams, Sandy spoke. So I have to tell you, I have been having nightmares about that night at the cemetery years ago. I can't shake them. It has become an obsession for me now to find out what it was we all saw that night. Flabbergasted, I relayed the same thing back to Sandy. She too became unnerved. She said there was had to be a correlation between our dreams and now wondered if us running into each other had to be fate. We also sat and wondered if our other two friends were experiencing the same nightmares and had the same thoughts that we were having. Sandy and I decided to try and get in touch with them to no avail. A week later, it was decided Sandy and I were going back to the cemetery. Sandy put in for vacation as I did. We met up and proceeded to the cemetery after dark on a Monday or a Tuesday during the week. We sat and waited as the sun disappeared on the horizon. Then, once again, to our astonishment, a shadowy figure seemed to glide effortlessly between the tombstones, its form indistinct and shifting as before. Then, minutes later, that same inhuman, dog-like, predatory beast appeared, dancing with the shadow person like before. The dogman looked directly. This time it was a little different, however, as this dogman like creature looked directly at us and walked on its two legs and feet toward us. The ghostly manifestation seemed to change more solidly, almost like an actual animal. Not ghostly, but as solid as an alive person, just like you or I. It had the head of a fierce wolf with glistening fangs, extruded snout with high pointed ears. I looked It looked at us almost like it was grinning, a bone-chilling grin. Sandy and I looked at each other in fear. We grabbed each other tightly. We closed our eyes for fear of imminent death. Then minutes went by and we opened our eyes. You may ask, why did we not run? Well, we couldn't. We simply could not. Upon opening our eyes, the cemetery and the shadow people were gone. Well, excuse me, the eyes of the cemetery shadow person was gone, as well as the inhuman dog-like creature. We got in our car while driving out of the cemetery. Both Sandy and I got a strange telepathic whisper in our ears. The words rang, I hope you're satisfied. Rob, I'm sure what we experience is not of this world. The dreams for myself and Sandy have stopped. As far as my other two friends are concerned, they have yet to contact me or Sandy. So, yeah, I mean, that's, when I talked about supernatural, ghostly, the cemeteries, I kind of knew I was going to read this story. I just didn't want to tell you guys. But no, man, that's, again, paranormal, otherworldly, and then turned into a solid figure all at once. Dreaming. I mean, I like that because I have weird dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So it had a lot of all those elements. And again, you guys, I'm going by what people send me. I believe everybody's stories, but a lot of things that's not the first time I've heard about dogmen and spiritual accounts at cemeteries either, though. I'm not talking, you guys can pick up.
Oh, okay. I remember talking about this story before. I mean, because it's got a little bit of everything in it, doesn't it? And it's interesting about the dreams. I mean, and then the years apart, I don't know.
Okay. I like that. Here's the thing that I'm getting at too. Yeah, I mean the story at the cemetery. That's like a second one I've had like that. Okay, similar yet different. These two people had the same dreams, apart as you said, or as they write for about a 4-year period, and they kind of connected. And they, out of chance, at an out of town restaurant, they don't know where each other lives. The Sandy shows up at this dude's state for a business meeting where he happens to be at a restaurant where they run into each other. Now, listen, how does that happen?
Fate.
But there's a reason why it happened, right?
I mean, it seems like it. I mean, you could argue that, the spirits that they encounter, let's call them, in the cemetery, like, were reaching back out for whatever reason. They stuck with them. Maybe they were attached to them, and they were like, okay, well, it's time to get back together. It was prearranged. There's all kinds of things that could potentially be, because I mean, I've had it happen before.
Could it be just fate?
Yeah. I mean, it could just be fate. Because I've been like New Orleans, all right? I remember I was in New Orleans with a group of friends, right? And it was part of like my Bigfoot group that I was a part of, right? Like 4 or 5 of us got together and went to New Orleans for a weekend. Didn't tell anybody we were going. We just went. Mm-hmm. And walking down the street, I run into another member coming the opposite direction who just happened to be in town for a bachelor party. Like nobody lives anywhere near New Orleans. We just happen to be there on the same day in the same town on the same street, passing each other just by complete happenstance.
That is.
It happens, is what I'm saying.
No, it does happen. No, I mean, I know I'm trying to recall something that happened to me. I think we've all had something like that happen once in our life. And
and the world is small. Like, that's what makes you feel like the world is small when you're in some place that is nowhere near where you live, and somebody that a friend or whatever even a high school friend, like, you went to high school in Ohio, but you're living in Louisiana now and you're on vacation in Oregon and you run into somebody from high school. I mean, stuff like that has happened to me.
Yeah, no, it's happened to me. I mean, people from high school, I've got two friends from high school that I still see regularly and just one guy from college. That's it. And I've run into high school people, like, it seems like all the time, it seems. If I think back about it or looking on it, it's not all that weird.
Yeah.
Now, of course, meeting the people like you did in Orleans down there, that was pretty cool. That's really awesome. Something like that I've never really had happen that I can recall, anyways. It's usually running into people at the airport or running into people, usually in a different city in the state, right? So, or at a gas station. I see a lot of people. I always talk about gas stations. I run into people that I know at gas stations all the time. It's just a place.
It's your thing. Gas stations are your kismet center there, right?
I guess it is. It is. Brandi, are you still with us?
I am still here. I am having terrible trouble.
I kind of gathered that. I just heard something off.
That was my cat.
Well, you guys, I got to tell you something. I like that story. The book's coming out in 3 days. Monica, she's got a cat. Brandy's got an internet. And you know what, you guys? I'm tired. I got up at 7 o'clock. I deleted 2,500 pages of my book. Yes, that I frantically had to put together because today was the last day. Or was the deadline to get it ready for publishing. So yeah, luckily I had all my notes. For those of you just joining, it was a terrible day to start, and I'm kind of exhausted. We normally go 90 minutes. Sometimes we go 90 minutes to 2 hours, but these guys got their things going on. Brandy's internet's done. I'm kind of tired, so we're gonna cut it a little bit short today. I appreciate everybody for coming on in. We've got. I want to thank really quickly. Well, I was gone. Thank you to, let's see. Well, let me just go through the entire list here. Keith from Michigan. Thanks, buddy, for the $10 super chat. Josh Castro, super chat. T-Bone gifting 10 BMR Pirates. Arr. T-Bone gifted 5 more. T-Bone gifted 15 members today. T-Bone, 15 new Pirates, courtesy of T-Bone. Thank you.
It's awesome.
Chris Nichols, $20. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I appreciate the donations. Never expected, but love you guys that do that. Well, I love all you guys, whether you donate or not, because you're what makes the channel successful and makes it grow. Not only people in chat, but also the people that are listening live. There's 77 people in chat. 70. It looks like it's going back and forth. 70. There is 329, 346 listening live. So yeah, that's another 400 people we got listening. You people, I recognize you. You're not in chat, but I know you're out there. I love your support, and thanks for subscribing and watching. Brandy's still kind of, you know what, Brandi? If you have anything to say, you can, because I don't know that you're able to.
I can still talk. It's just going to take a few seconds to get over the lag. But I just want to say thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow, Truth or Tinfoil comes on at 5 p.m. Central on the Truth or Tinfoil channel. And it's supposed to be a good one tomorrow, so I hope everybody shows up.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Monica, you're our Paranormal World Thursday nights at 11 in East, 10 Central, correct?
Correct. Yep. Live every Thursday. And then I'm going on Friday nights with Breezy on the Breezy Speakeasy as well.
Wow. So you're going to be all over. You're going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday with us. Well, next Saturday, everybody, I'm going to have my full gang back as Krista's getting back from vacation. And yes, we will have Brandi. And yes, we will continue to work on her problems which maybe we're not working on. She's just going to have to move, I think. She just, needs to. She needs
priorities. You got to move.
she needs towers. She needs towers. Everybody, we got to solve this problem for Brandi. We got to solve this problem. But anyways,
I need it solved.
Well, you do more than we do because I know it's driving you batty. I know it is. So, subscribe to the Blondes and the Booze if not already on YouTube. Monica Rollins, Our Paranormal World. Bigfoot Michigan Rob on YouTube. Texas from Porch. And you got Breezy's got a show. Donnie Cho's got a show. Paranormal Paul's got a show. Y'all got shows. Love y'all. Go look them up. Go check them out. With that being said, thanks for coming in. And I got to find the magic button. I got to find the magic exit button. Thank you. Love y'all. See you next time. Next Saturday. I'm on Monday. I'm on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. You see, I'm getting tired. I got to roll. I know when it's time to go. Thank you, guys.